Peace, peace, peace. So, tonight I am reading The Mystic Path to Cosmic Power. And I'm so grateful that, like, I started studying, getting to know myself because that has changed my life so drastically. And I just got finished reading the Prosperity Bible, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. And I had this book on my bed, The Mystic Path to Cosmic Power. And many times, when I'm reading, I will allow the book to just fall where it may, okay? This book is by far my favorite book, okay? This and The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. If you guys don't have those books and you are looking for a way to change your perception, a way to just start changing your life, I guarantee you, if you read the books and apply what the books are saying, your life will change. And that's because you desire for change, okay? And so when I let the book land where it may, to whichever page, right? What came up was your 4 golden keys, okay? And it says this: yes, there will be times when we get weary. Our studies, books, and seekings may seem fertile. Expect it to happen. It happens to everyone on the path. For one thing, we are governed by the principle of alternating effect and relaxation. A change of pace is necessary for refreshment. When tiredness or discouragement sets in, don't be upset. Quietly set the books aside and have some tea and cake. Have no fear in doing this. If the intention is right, we are naturally drawn back again to our studies, revived and ready for the next upward step. This reminds me of all the times that I have listened to Abraham Hicks. And so many times she would say, whenever you feel frustrated, right, because you want this thing to occur in your life and it has not manifested yet, meditate or take a nap. And that is because if you stay with those emotions, right, and keep on thinking about certain things in your life that you don't want to keep on manifesting, when you meditate or take a nap, it stops that. Okay, it's like, you move away from the situation and then later on you go back. It also says all we need is a decision to seek the light. When that is done, all else is done for us. A sign of deepening insight. When you see how one psychological principle connects with another, you might, for example, see how resist, not evil, connects with the law of not worshiping false gods. How, when we resist something, perhaps an unkind remark, the very resistance implies a belief that that remark can harm us. So if somebody is calling you, certain names or whatever it is, and you arguing back with them, right, you are resisting it, right? Because if you know who you are, okay, you're not going to argue with somebody that is, for example, they could say, hey, you ugly. And then you turn around, you like, who the F, you talking to all this other stuff. If you know you're not ugly, you're not going to respond to them. Even sometimes, like, I see certain things on my page. Oftentimes, I just leave a heart to the person that says whatever it is that they saying, because I know that this person is not even thinking. Okay, so that's pretty much what it means when it says, when we resist something, perhaps an unkind remark, the very resistance implies a belief that that remark can harm us. We are therefore worshiping a force and powerless God. The unkind remark. Non-resistance causes the bluff and destroys the falsity. The first step towards harmonizing with universal laws is to hear of them. Let me present 4 simple and basic steps which readers found helpful in my previous book. Oh, I don't have that book. um Your 4 golden keys to new freedom and happiness are a sincere desire for inner change. Self-transformation begins from the moment we earnestly wish to be a different kind of person. Okay, so that's one. The moment you like, you know what, I'm sick of being this person that I have always been. I'm ready for change. Okay, that's when your life is going to start changing. You guys hear me say this a lot. Number 2, contact with workable principles. We must connect ourselves with a source of genuine help, perhaps a book or an enlightened teacher, or with our own inner light. Okay? So, say for instance you don't have you can't come across an enlightened teacher or whatever, or a book, right? Which there's so many books. But you could always go within and connect with your light, meaning your higher self, okay? Your God self. Then the third one is self-honesty. We must heroically face the facts about ourselves, even if disturbing, in order to break the change. Got to be honest with yourself. If you know you are a certain type of way, and this is like really, addressing or facing your shadow side, It's so interesting. It was a young lady that I was watching a few weeks ago, and what she did was so amazing. So your shadow side is the part of you that you want to hide, right? It's the part of you that you don't really want to show people. It's, probably your family members know exactly how you are, but when you out in public or, around certain people, you don't want to show that part. You want to sweep that part, under the rug, because perhaps you don't accept that part, because perhaps you don't like that part. And perhaps, okay, someone may have told you that, you have to be other than that in order for you to be liked, right? But what this young lady did was she said she wrote down all the things people did that she absolutely did not like. And she said, and that's how she started facing her shadow side and accepting her shadow side and started doing the work. Okay. All right. So the next one is persistence. Okay. Persistence is big. This big, thick book, okay. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. In this book, and even in The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles, many of these authors, they talk about persistence, okay? Persistence, and that's how you know if you have faith, okay? And whatever it is that you're doing, you know why? Because you're going to persist. You're going to keep showing up, okay? No matter how the outside is looking, you still going to show up. And for a lot of people, what they tend to do, they tend to throw in the towel before they even get started or after they get started, because they don't see the thing happening quick enough, okay? But persistence. With endurance, happiness comes gradually, but definitely. Like a blinking light that finally glows permanently, okay? So when you keep on showing up and keep on going, okay, gradually, but definitely, happiness will come, okay? But you got to keep on going. Okay, studying. And I tell you guys all the time, I'm always constantly studying. Some of you guys may remember the dream that I had after I had my spiritual awakening, right? And I'm gonna just touch briefly on it. So I had my spiritual awakening back in 2018, right? And I remember I had this dream. And prior to that, I wasn't really like a reader, like reading books and stuff like that. But I remember I had this dream, and it was one book that I had ordered, okay, because I had heard Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart, talk about this book. And it was so many people that was talking about it. You know how you hear something one time, and then it's like after you have heard it that one time, you hear like it's almost like I forget what they call it, but then you hear other people keep talking about it. And it was The Alchemist, right, by Pablo Coelho. And I remember, I was so excited to get the book, and I ordered the book, couldn't wait for the book to come, and I started reading the book. But I had this dream one night, and in this dream, it was like in this sky rise, okay, like this really tall building. And it was like a condo, but like, one of those sky rises, whatever. And across from me, it was like two buildings, okay? One building here and then a building here, and they both was facing each other. And I was looking out the window, and right across from me, it was this father and son. And they had like all these books on a shelf, but I couldn't make the name out like from the books because the books was covered. Okay. And they had like the same exact color, sort of like the Alchemist have. It had that on the books. Like some of you guys, you may remember, and some of you guys don't even know what the heck I'm talking about when I say this. When I was growing up, I went to a Catholic school, and our books always had to be covered. Okay, they always had to be covered. You could put paper, the brown paper, the brown covering paper on your book, or you could put, like, if you was fancy, you was putting cloth, okay, on your books. And so in his dream, the books, they was covered, and they had like this orange and reddish, like on the books, where as though I couldn't even make the name out on the books if I wanted to, because the books all was covered. And I never forgot that dream. And it puts me in a mind of where I am today, because if someone would have told me, like, I would have been ordering books and reading books and stuff like that, and coming to social media and reading books, I would have said you was a bold-faced lie, because I never thought that I would be reading. Okay, and I know some of you guys like, what, right? In fact, okay, one of the guys I dated used to make fun and would say, go get a book and read, okay? And no wonder why I'm not with him. But I'm so grateful for even him saying that, because, once I started reading the books, I started seeing that the relationship I was in, it was really done. Okay. So I wanted to do this video because once I started reading a book, I said, oh my goodness, let me share this. So to the person that's out there, and you feel discouraged, okay, you feel frustrated, go away from the thing. If you feeling frustrated, you're not going to be able to get the answer that you seeking, because it's like you just focusing on a problem. But if you go away from the situation and, just do something else, you'll be very surprised how the solution comes to you. Okay. So with that being said, make sure you guys rocking out, believing in yourselves, and I catch you guys on the next one. Peace.